All right, good morning, everybody. Week 10 in the NFL, and this should be a good one this week, boy. Our early game today will be Baker and the Bucs hosting Drake May and the surging Patriots. And then our late game will be LA and San Francisco, the battle of SoCal, NorCal. The first game won by NorCal in LA. So, and what we're going to talk about early is we're going to do yesterday. We're going to review the NBA and the NHL, talk about some of the games. The NBA games, I really can't talk about other than the don't look now, but the exciting Miami Heat. When again, they beat my Blazers 135-131. A very entertaining game. As the refs, as always, played a big part in it. I know Denver steamrolled last night. And the Heat, not the Heat, excuse me. The Lakers lost to the Hawks last night. The Lakers been on fire. You know what I'm saying? So, that's some of the highlights of yesterday's NBA games. But in the NHL yesterday, boy, Anaheim keeps winning. And I told you people about when you get a coach, this is what happens. Quinville got those kids playing out in Southern California, folks. As they went in Vegas late last night. Colorado, who was my pick to win the West. Morning, vamos. Colorado went to Edmonton and spanked them late last night. Boston's won 6 in a row now. I was listening to TSN on Friday, and they really believe that Maple Leafs was ready to take over. I wonder what they're going to say tomorrow about the Leafs losing to the Bruins. I can hear it now. Same old Leafs. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you keep gassing up your team and they haven't done none in nearly 60 years. Take a wait and see approach. I'm not bashing the Leafs here. I'm just saying. I don't bash the Leafs at all. I'm not one of those guys. I don't live in Canada, so I have nothing against the Leafs. Just win something for your loyal fans. You know what I'm saying? Saskatchewan with a late touchdown last night. Pulled it out against the BC Lions. They'll be in their first Grey Cup final next weekend in 12 years. I know Moss is going to love that. Montreal went to Hamilton and won there. I won both of my CFL picks yesterday. I said BC will keep it close, and they did. Speaking of Montreal, boy, was the Canadiens something to watch from midway through the second period on last night up in Montreal. As Montreal went on to beat Utah 6-2. Rangers and falling apart And the surging Young Islanders won again. They won at the Garden last night 4-0. Ottawa won in overtime in Philly 3-2 yesterday on a goal by my man Tim Stutzler. So there's some of the games yesterday. Indiana held off Penn State 27-24. Texas Tech beat BYU. The Hurricanes won big yesterday. They revenge on Syracuse from last year. Because the Heat, new style almost. The Heat just roll the balls out and play. The Heat no longer plays defense. They're running gun. They're a running gun team now. And they're fun to watch. Now, I was saying it last night up here. The fans in Miami are entertained. That's what Miami fans like. They like high speed, glitz. And now they're getting it from a young Eric Spoelstra coach team. Spoelstra is the best coach in the business. He knows what he's doing. That was a good win for the Heat last night. Iman's talking about his MVP quarterback now. Daniel Jones leads the league in passing yards. Are we in the twilight zone? Good morning, Iman. And how much are the Colts winning by? As my TV is off. Let me know the score of that game. Yeah, I heard they missed the extra point. So Falcons up 14-13. Okay. Good to see Iman this morning. Whipped my ass last week. Fantasy football. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to the games today. Let me preview the games today. Browns and Jets, that's for the number one pick in the draft. That's the only reason that the game is interesting. Ravens and Vikings should be a good one today. Out in Minneapolis. That should be good today. Indoors, too. Saints and Panthers. The Panthers can show you a lot today. They're 5-4. If they beat the Saints today, you have to take them seriously for a wild card in the NFC. Giants and Bears, that is interesting. Giants banged up with their two best offensive weapons out for the season, and Chicago's beginning to round into form. That should be a fascinating game between two blue bloods of the NFL. That's in Soldier Field. I'll do the weather at 12:30 when I come back. The game I'm doing today, Drake May and the Pats taking on the Buccaneers and the great Baker Mayfield. Like I said, I'll do the weather at 12:30. As soon as I come on the air, I'll start doing the weather for you. If the Dolphins have any pride today, any pride, make this game competitive today against the Bills at home. There'll be a lot of Bill fans at the game, by the way. Jaguars and Texans. Be interesting. Cardinals and Seahawks later today. They're going to put Kyler Murray on bubble wrap and try to trade him in the offseason. And Seattle's looking real strong right now. The game I'm doing, Rams and Niners, will be fascinating. Rematch from week 5. 49ers won in LA the first time. We'll see what happens this time. Lions and Redskins today. The other late game. I'm not going to pay that game no attention. Then you got Rodgers and the Steelers at Herbert and the Chargers tonight in LA. And then tomorrow night, you got a pretty fascinating game between the Packers and Eagles, which should be interesting tomorrow night. And we'll talk about that game a little later today, as we preview the games at 12:30. We'll do the weather at 12:30. We'll do everything at 12:30. Weather, who the announcers are, injuries for your fantasy team to get caught up with that. We'll do that at 12:35 when I come back. Tampa and New England today, which is fascinating. Little Rock in the building. That's right. Melina in the building. Good morning to everybody this morning as we get ready for Week 10 in the National Football League. Good to see Little Rock in the building. Good to see everybody in the building. Which is pretty cool. You know? As we all begin our Sunday morning with a smile on our faces. I hope God is good. Matter of fact, God is awesome. I can say that. And just good to see everybody today. And like I said, when I do this platform, I enjoy seeing everybody because it says God blessed us all to be together again. There we go. This is for Lil Rock, my boy, my man. There you go. Happy Sunday to Miss Melina. Happy Sunday to everybody. It's N.F.L. Sunday. Can we believe this? The year is half over in the National Football League? If you want to bet, I'll give you the games I'm playing today. Okay. But you can. I'll go down some odds, but uh, let me do that. Pull that up here for you guys. As I deal with FanDuel. And FanDuel do pay you well when they pay you quick too. As Iman said, the Colts are losing 14-13. That game is right now live on N.F.L Network. All right, my picks today. I took the Bears minus 4.5 against the Giants. I took the Bills at 9.5 over the Dolphins. I took the Seahawks and Cardinal game over 45.5. I took the Lions. Right now it's 7.5. I took the Lions at 8.5. And I took the Eagles tomorrow night. When I took it, it was plus 2.5 over 43.5. Now it's plus 1.5 over 44.5. And those are my picks for this week. Eagles 2.5. You could say 1.5 over 44.5. Lions over the Redskins 7.5. That's 3. Seahawks and Cardinals over 44.5. And Bills over 8.5 over the Dolphins. And the Bears minus 4.5 over the Giants. Those were my picks of the week. So I'll bring that up again. Something that I do now, what I should have been doing before. I shout out everybody who's been a contributor to this platform. Mr. Miami, Big Money Sean, Itus, Molina, Bargoff. Great to see Bargoff here last night. Ramos, um, Relentless, Moss, BX Gunner, Rosie, Manzano, Little Rock. Just some of the people that have been here and been great contributors to this platform. So good morning to everybody. Good morning to all of them. All right, let's get to the game today, which to me is the most fascinating game. Is Tampa Bay and the young Patriots. When you look at the schedules of both of these teams, you know what they have in common? We'll start with the Patriots. After this game today, they get their bye week 14. After that, they play Buffalo at home and they play at Baltimore. He lets you know why I'm talking about this. Where is it? There's a reason why I'm bringing this up, as I'm looking for the Pats schedule. And then I'm into the Buccaneers schedule. And then you guys are going to go, man, really? Let me see. Go up here. All right, this should get me where I'm going with this. We'll do the Patriots first. And there's a method to my madness. All right, here we go. All right, the Patriots. After this game, home for the Jets on Thursday night, at Cincinnati Best Wounded, and then the New York Giants on a Monday night. They'll win all three. Then they get their bye week 14. 15 home for the Bills, 16 at Baltimore. At the Jets week 17, Miami week 18. After today, 5 of their last 7, they should win very easily. Okay. What did that tell you? Right now, in my opinion, they have 12 wins in the bag. What they do today, what they do against Buffalo and Baltimore is undecided. I don't know. But I know they will roll the Jets, the Dolphins, the Giants. Bengals may give them a tough game, but the Jets twice, Giants and Dolphins, those are wins. So with the Patriots, I see them with at least 12-5 record. Now, let me do the other team. I've said this many times. I'm going to say it again for people that don't listen. Or people new to the platform. Okay? The Buccaneers, since day one, has played a tough schedule. But this is what I'm talking about. Home for New England. Next week, we will be in Orchard Park. That will be the thumbnail. Baker against Josh Allen. At L.A. against the Rams in 2 weeks on Sunday Night Football. They had their bye last week. Here it comes, folks. This is what I'm talking about. After week 12, home for Arizona. Jacoby Brissett. Home for New Orleans. Home for Atlanta. 3 straight home games against the division. At Carolina. At Miami. Home for Carolina. I don't see them losing the game. I don't see them losing the game at all. They'll finish 4 of their last 6 at home against the also-rans of the league. Basically, God has gifted them a schedule. Okay? He's gifted them a schedule. All right. The reason why this is important, because some other teams may have tougher schedules. Who, like in New England's case, they're going to be, and Tampa Bay's case, they both are going to be competing for home field in their conferences. I know Denver has a tough schedule ahead. When you look at the contenders in the AFC, the the Patriots already won in Buffalo. The Broncos are 2.5 games ahead of the Chiefs. A game and a half ahead of the Chargers. In the N.F.L, it does matter. And I always set up here, the 3 best teams in the NFC are Philly, the Rams, and Tampa. Ironically, all three teams have won Super Bowls this decade. And that's one of the reasons why I never put the Lions with those three teams. Because the Lions have a lot to prove. Those teams don't. And that's another reason why I never listen to the media. Because they only tell you who they like. They don't tell you what's real out here. So right now, as we stand, with 8 weeks to go, because this is like a horse race right now. Those three teams in the NFC are the favorites, in my opinion, to get it done. When we sit up here a week from today, we'll be talking about three showdowns in the N.F.L. next week. The Buccaneers go to Buffalo. And it's going to be bad weather here in the Northeast this week. It's going to be a lot of cold weather. Living here in New York, it's going to be up to 34 degrees on Tuesday. It's going to be a cold winter week this week here in the Northeast. You got the big one, in my opinion, Denver and the Chiefs. It's rare when you have two teams playing in a big game that is important for both teams. That's what's going to be at stake for Tampa and Buffalo. Definitely Denver and the Chiefs next Sunday, and the Sunday night game next week, which is going to be the Lions at the Eagles next Sunday night. Those are going to be huge games. I don't know how those games are going to go. All I care about is, are the games competitive? That's all that should matter. That you're getting competitive games. You want to be entertained. I'm a damn Dolphins fan. I haven't been entertained since 1992, really, 93. So, my team is my fantasy football team. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. So, you got the big ones today. That game right there I'll be doing. You got the Steelers tonight. Steeler Nation will invade SoFi tonight. You better believe that. Which, let me talk about this real quick, since I'm going to be up here for about another, probably, let's see, 32, probably for another 15, 20 minutes or so. Did you see what happened last week at the Meadowlands? It is so bad with the Giants, but the owner wants that coach fired now. There were 45,000 49er game fans at the game last week. They took over New York City last week. It's a good thing they took over before that idiot Mangani got in office, but I don't want to talk about that. I'm talking about sports up here. 45,000. Now, he was upset about it. Well, put a better product on the field, and you wouldn't have that. Except when you play at Dallas or Miami, you'll get that. Or the Raiders. When the Raiders are good, Raider Nation was showing. You know the Steelers are showing up for that. For to go there and take over the stadium. But that was a bad look. Because there's not too many 49er fans I see here in New York. They all flew in across the country, made it a weekend. It was 70 degrees almost last weekend here in New York. It was beautiful weather. Sun was shining. And they took over it. And it was a bad look. Now, there are some owners that would love to see that in their stadiums. First guy who comes to mind automatically is Stephen Ross and Jerry Jones. To have 45,000 tickets sold black market, spend money on tourism, the bars, the clubs, the golf course, the beach. Are you kidding me? And Dallas has 100,000. Owners who don't care about winning. They care about making money. That's the dream for owners. What happened last week in the Meadowlands. But if you're a team, a franchise bet, you care about winning, you care about your fans. Like in Miami, they're suffering right now. I mean, matter of fact, you can honestly say that there's some Dolphin fans right now who are on life support because they've never seen the team do anything. I think Jacksonville will like that. You saw 2 weeks ago, Steelers fans were whining about that. So, LA's, you're going to see that tonight in LA. LA is a destination like that where the visiting team fans outnumber the Rams and the Charger fans. That's a topic that I will talk about probably next coming week. I'll do it. You know? So, we'll do the weather in 2 hours. I'll give you the full betting board in 2 hours. Did I say 2 hours? In an hour. That's my bad. An hour from now. I'll do that. You know? I'll give you all that. Whether the announcers, I'll even go. I'll look at each game again and give you who should who should play, who you sit in fantasy, and then we'll have the kickoff of the Pats and the Bucs today. I'm on television off since the two sorry ass New York teams will be playing early today. And I'm not doing the Lions, so um, I'll just have my focus on my TV because that's what channel my local Fox affiliate will have the big game, Rams and Chargers. Rams and 49ers today. Yes, they have Ramos and Mr. Miami up here, and I asked their opinion about which team can win on the road and which team can win at home. And Mr. Miami really fascinated me because he picked basically the Eagles and the Niners to hook up for a championship game. In the AFC, he kind of liked New England a lot. New England and the Chiefs a lot. In the NFC and the AFC. I think the Ravens are going to get it going. But like I said about the Ravens and the Bills, can those two quarterbacks finally get over the hump somehow? I don't think so. In the NFC, I keep saying it, the three best teams are the Rams, the Buccaneers, and the Eagles. And teams like the Lions, the Packers. If the 49ers win today, I'll make it 4 teams. If they lose, it will be those 3 teams. Green Bay is something missing with them. I think a lot of it has to do with the coach. And with Detroit, they're the sorry ass Lions. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Denver held on to beat the Raiders in a boring snowfest. Let me tell you, I went to bed early, man. Colts and let me take a look at that game. I usually don't watch the 9:30 game. All right, Daniel Jones has fumbled. What else is new? When they come back, I'll tell you what's going on there. Circle week 15 on your calendar if you're a football fan. And there's going to be some big games that day. National doubleheaders on both networks. The headliner early, Buffalo at New England. Chargers are at the Chiefs. Your late games are Green Bay at Denver, Rams and Lions. That's another big one. And Vikings and Dallas is the night game. I'm trying to think of the other big game. Bills and Eagles. So, check your local listings what game you're going to get. I know I'm not getting none of the 1 o'clock games. I live here in New York. It's going to be the Jets and the Giants. They've been so bad. You know? So, that is one to get. That is a week you circle. Week 15 on the schedule. If you like football, that's what you look at. Now, Atlanta is up on the Colts 17-13. And they're at their own 43-yard line. 10 minutes and 21 seconds to go in the third quarter. So this game still got a long way to go. Just when you think Atlanta can get it going, they're the same old Falcons. And if the Colts lose this game, then people are going to say they're a fraud. So, Daniel Jones coming back down to earth in this one so far. Colts almost picked it off. Atlanta got a punt. So, Atlanta plays next week. The Colts will have their bye week next week. And then we'll see the Colts in 2 weeks in Arrowhead against the Chiefs. Up here. We'll see that game. So it's a quick 3-and-out by the Falcons. You know, I just think this season now is definitely going to pick up now. And I think it's good for all football fans, fantasy fans. This is what we wanted, right? Good competitive games. Marquee teams playing against each other. You're going to start getting that now. Thanksgiving Day. Wow. Look what you got. Showdown the NFC North. Green Bay at Detroit. a game that America will be galvanized. Mahomes in Dallas, back home in Texas against Dak and the Cowboys. Bengals Ravens, I will be going to bed early. And getting ready for week 13 action on Sunday. Matter of fact, let me see what's week 13 action. Right now, I'm smiling like hell, boy. Don't forget Black Friday is Bears and Eagles. All right, Colts got the ball first and 10 at their own 12. Taylor for 6 yards. All right, Taylor first down, he ran for 12. After this drive, I'll see you in about an hour. Let me see what they do on this drive. All right, 2nd and 7 for the Colts. Jones. First down to Pittman Jr. Colts driving, folks. All right, let me get out of here because they're calling penalties. I'll be back in exactly 1 hour. And I will give you the weather, the announcers, the point spreads, and the injury report as we get ready for this game. Little Rock. Miss Melina Vamos, thank you for pulling up. And Iman, the people in the clouds, will see you in exactly 1 hour from right now. Enjoy your breakfast, everybody. Enjoy the rest of this Colt Falcon game.